Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me here today. Just a couple quick announcements. I'm not sure when my next video is going to be out, so I figured I'd make one here for everybody so you guys weren't left waiting or wondering kind of what's going on in my life. I had a close friend of mine that I've known for several years, back all the way to high school, so over, probably 10 years, die in a car accident today. And I'm just kind of struggling with that here, so I figured I'd give a quick update video as to everything going on in my life and why I might not be making videos as regularly over the next week or so. With that being said, I thank you guys for all your support, your donations. I love all of you. You guys have been such a huge blessing in my life, and even through the hard times, it's been nice to have a place to come to share a level of service with you guys. So thank you very much. I've pre-shuffled and prayed, so I'm just gonna hop right into this. Today's video is going to be in relation to the divine masculine and divine feminine connection. So headspace, heart space, likely outcome. Combined energy between the two, likely outcome. Headspace, heart space, likely outcome. Likely actions. We have the overall ending energy here on the bottom of the deck as the Chariot. The Chariot really talks about people taking their life into control, them grabbing life by the reins and really directing their life so they can move forward with it. In the progression, not being held back by lack of imbalances. There is very much a representation of duality here between light and dark, and bringing those into balance in order for movement to occur through these two here. So let's see what we have show up. All right, so under the divine masculine's headspace here, we have the moon. The moon is a representation, really, of illusions, this state of darkness that they've been in mentally. To me, this is them really having kind of this lost and dark night where they're not able to see their path very clearly. To me, this is almost them being lost mentally as to what their next step is, because the progression here is hard because they're not getting much lighting. They only have enough light to, kind of slowly move through their situation, one step in front of the other kind of feeling here. The moon is also very associated with illusions, because what's seen in the nighttime is not always how it appears. It doesn't have the full light of the sun to really illuminate so people can see what it is that they're looking at and working with here. Things don't look the same in the nighttime as they do the daytime. That's a very important part of the moon here. So it is kind of this state of almost being lost here, I feel, for the divine masculine. This really could be in representation to kind of what we've experienced here towards the eclipse, with the representation of the moon showing up. There was a lot of heavy energy that came through with that. A lot of purging and releasing that needed to occur, pent-up emotions from the past, things like that. So this could be them also reflecting from any actions that occurred around that time period, as well as them feeling pretty lost in their own journey. Under the heart space, we have the representation of the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is going to be representation of the divine feminine. This is them really stepping into their desire and passion towards the divine feminine. Them really seeing her as this fiery, desirable, passionate person, creative even, in how they handle their situations and come up with solutions to issues that occur for them. Under the likely outcome here, we do have the representation of the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords represents them having to make a choice, cut something from their path so they can proceed down another path. It is them coming to this fork in the road and them having to make a choice to leave something or cut something from their life to proceed. That's very much the energy of the Two of Swords here. There is also a representation of the moon back here with the Two of Swords present. So this is a card that is showing, again, that kind of nighttime essence. It's almost towards the new moon, though, here in this representation. So it's not the same full moon. This could be possibly foreshadowing events towards this new moon here, I believe on the 15th. For those that are curious, I mentioned in a previous video about an eclipse occurring on the 15th. It is a partial solar eclipse that is going to occur. The King of Cups is the representation of how the Divine Feminine is currently looking at the Divine Masculine. This is them really wanting to step into that caring, nurturing, compassionate role, that loving and unconditionally loving role for them. They're really missing that nostalgic state with where they've had feelings with their Divine Masculine in the past, where they've been in that role, where they've been showing that loving, compassionate side to them. The heart space here for the Divine Feminine is represented with the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is all about holding on to something. With it, them holding on to it, their heart space here, this could be them being a little bit nervous or uneasy about proceeding forward with any sort of actions towards the Divine Masculine until they see this King of Cups kind of reappear from them. This also could be a representation of them holding on to the Divine Masculine, their connection, as much as they've been trying to maybe let go, realizing that it's much harder to let go than they've originally thought out. This person's still constantly on their mind. They're still holding on to it. Here we have the Sun as the likely outcome for the Divine Feminine. This is kind of some interesting duality we have going on here. Yin Yang, we have the moon represented all the way over here in the headspace, but the likely outcome for the Divine Feminine is the Sun. The Sun is the most positive card in the deck. This is illumination. This is happiness. This is growth. This is more abundance coming their way. This could be the return to a state of childlike innocence for them through everything that is occurring. This representation here, the King of Cups, it's either them desiring it or even potentially the presence of the King of Cups showing back up, and with that possibly bringing in this new illumination to their path, them potentially ending out this full moon cycle here and really stepping out of the eye of the storm and more into that calm state as the Divine Masculine potentially steps into the eye of the storm here. All right, let's grab some clarifiers here for all this. The overall bottom energy of the deck here for this next row is going to be the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a messenger of an emotional passion, like an emotional messenger in love, even. That this is talking about movement forward. So it's interesting that we have this Chariot, which represents action and movement forward, and then we have the Knight of Cups right underneath it as the bottom of the deck energy as well, showing that there may be some action here moving towards a relay of emotion, a relay of love coming from either one of them here. We will have to see if we have any sort of communication show up under either one of them here. Divine Masculine, you got the Tower again. So, under the moon, in the headspace of the divine masculine, we have the representation of the karmic partner. This is them maybe seeing the karmic partner in the state of an illusion. They might even be seeing the karmic partner as the illusion in this situation here. This could very much represent them coming into a place of seeing this situation in a more clear perspective with the divine or with the karmic partner, realizing that it is kind of an illusionary state. This could be talking about them very much going through dark times with their karmic partner as well. The representation of the moon, obviously, showing that it is a nighttime sort of event, could really talk to the situation coming to a darkness level. Um, so we have the Queen of Wands here with the Tower in the heart space. So this really talks about some sudden change towards maybe some walls that have been put up with the divine feminine. Is really how I'm kind of perceiving this, because you have the divine feminine being stated here in this passionate state, this desired state. And maybe this is them really having their world shaken apart in how they've been putting up walls, boundaries, things like that. Um, that kind of a nature here between the two of them. This is sudden change that really occurs here. It could be a sudden shift in energies between the two of them, the breaking down of walls, barriers. This can be a very dramatic change and even a very trying time all of a sudden that they experience in relation to the divine feminine. Something that occurs here is going to change their view or change their perspective in the way they are viewing the divine feminine. Um, we'll see more as we grab more clarifiers here. So, as we proceed to the likely actions for the divine masculine, we have the strength card show up. The strength card here is all about them taking control, really being in that state of being strong and taking control of the situation, finding the determination and knowledge how to move through this so they can make this cut here and leave behind whatever it is that doesn't serve their life. This is them having to make the choice of leaving something behind and proceeding forward with some other direction in their life. We'll see more as we get more clarifiers here. But this is a good combination here for the divine masculine, because a lot of times they've been in kind of a state of fear or unable to make this choice here in the past. So now they might be finding the strength to proceed forward with whatever this is that they need to cut out of their life. So underneath the divine feminine here, with the King of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands. This is really showing the state of like hard work and this effort that they've really put in here to this battle. This is depicted with them kind of weaving this really kind of fancy looking chair here for themselves. This really is about them putting in the effort and energy, and less away from that defensiveness. Although in the traditional tarot Rider-Waite deck, there is a defensive quality that comes with the Nine of Wands, so I will just cover that and touch on that as well. The Nine of Wands in the traditional Rider-Waite deck really represents them being defensive after going through several battles, being a little bit unsure about how to proceed forward. And this could almost be, them seeing this divine masculine here stepping into this King of Cups and being a little bit apprehensive, not quite ready to leap on it right away because they have all these reminders of past incidents that have occurred that have left them either hurt, vulnerable, wondering whether and how long they're going to be there, how long they're staying in the picture this time. That kind of a feeling here. So with the Four of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups with the Four of Pentacles is going to be in representation of the divine feminine being offered multiple choices from many different directions. This is actually a much more positive Seven of Cups than in the Rider-Waite deck or even this deck here, the Illuminati tarot deck. And the reason being is that there's not really a wrong choice almost that the divine feminine can take. It's just being confronted with a lot of paths for her to choose, yet she's still in this state of kind of almost being stuck and unable to move. So she's still confronted with the same situation as the regular Seven of Cups, where it is that presented with so many options, you almost just stand still because you don't know which path to proceed down. That's very much the energy we have here in the heart space. So this could really be the divine masculine coming back with, you know, 3 or 4 other people trying to enter the picture, or different job opportunities. Whatever this looks like for each individual person's life is going to obviously be different, but there's going to be multiple opportunities that confront the divine feminine and her feeling stuck as to which path to proceed down. This could really stem back to this kind of defensiveness with seeing this divine masculine return in the King of Cups present. We shall see. Here, underneath the illumination of the sun, we have the representation of the Queen of Swords. So, to me, this is really about illuminating this previous path that we keep showing the divine feminine in this Queen of Swords energy. This same energy that continues to kind of almost push away this divine masculine, and him having to be faced with you know, not having this loving emotional connection between the two of them. This is her really being defensive and keeping her heart in a cage. We have more defensive energy over here towards the divine masculine as well. This is her coming into this state of realizing that her being in this state here might be what's actually blocking this message coming through here. And really needing to maybe step out of this role temporarily for the time being, taking that risk to be heard again for the sake of the progression of this message finally coming through. If we don't allow ourselves to step into a vulnerable state, then we aren't really in a state of receiving, and we can't allow the connection to move forward with progression. I don't believe I actually touched on this here, but between the two of them, they have the Ten of Wands as the likely outcome or combined energy. This is the end of burden, or this overwhelming situation. I'm feeling this very overwhelming tie to whatever's been going on. With the Ten of Wands here, the important part to note in this Ten of Wands in particular over this Rider-Waite deck that I have listed over, or set over here, is that this person's actually almost fairly close to their end objective. This person, they can almost count the steps to getting to this building here in order to sell all these handcrafted wands that they've been carrying for such a long distance. This is why they even set along the journey in the first place. They've just been kind of burdened down with the weight of it, trying to carry this entire thing for so long. So this is really talking about the end of burden and being fairly close to it. Because we have a message coming through in the Page of Pentacles here. This is some sort of message that's going to be relayed 3-dimensionally and in a grounded form is what I'm saying here. And it's going to be this emotional message that we're looking at here. With it being, with the Page of Pentacles looking towards the divine feminine, I'm really reading this as the divine masculine reaching out, or needing to reach out to the divine feminine in order to relay this message here. And the message needs to be about love, compassion, vulnerability, honesty, things of that nature here. The overall ending energy here for the divine masculine for his head and heart space is the Magician. So as above, so below. This is all about manifesting and manipulating circumstances for the betterment of your outcome. This can be actual real magic as well, so spells, things of that nature coming into effect here. Wow. So through this state of this moon here, with this karmic partner being in representation, I'm very much realizing that the illusionary state that they've been in towards this divine, or towards this karmic partner here, has been obviously the major thing that's holding them back. But I really feel like they're actually seeing this state here between the two of them, which is why they're able to kind of change their perspective to to the situation, so much so that they're actually working on manifesting their twin flame union here, and they're hoping through manifesting this that they're trying to get back this Queen of Cups energy. They very much are longing for this in their headspace. They want this union state with the divine feminine in this Queen of Cups energy. They're tired of this Queen of Swords. They're tired of the standoff here, because something has occurred here. Some sort of shift has occurred here in association with the moon, and everything that's occurred. Because now they're able to see the picture almost clearly, and it's almost like because they have the sun over here in this illumination state of clearing up this Queen of Swords energy going on, that they can actually now see this happy, abundant home life here. This is like marriage. This is them wanting that caring, compassionate, nurturing, unconditionally loving return of their divine feminine. And this is them seeing the home life and abundance that can come in due to everything going on. Something with the illusionary state here between this, I feel like has really been broken, to have this message come in here, because they're very much manifesting this connection despite this karmic partner here. This is kind of an interesting set of cards to have show up in that area. But with the Magician, I guess it makes sense, because it's them moving out of this illusionary state here, with the breakthrough of the sun, in order to see this karmic partner for what they truly are, so they can move into the state of happy abundance and this marriage union, whatever you want to call it. I know everybody's kind of got their own views as far as to what they want, and whether or not even marriage is something that they truly desire. But it's that coming together in partnership. And the Ten of Pentacles is the abundance in the home life due to it. This is that fulfillment, the complete fulfillment of home life abundance. Underneath the Tower, with the Queen of Wands here, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Page of Pentacles here. So this talks to me about the divine masculine, obviously needing to relay this message here. And this is a three-dimensional new beginning. This is a grounded three-dimensional new beginning, and really following through with it. With this Tower, there's some sort of sudden shift that occurs that really opens up the divine masculine, and his world has been changed, in order for him to relay this message of wanting to be together, or wanting to at least start some sort of new beginning, whatever that looks like, whether that's friendship, a business partnership, a love connection, but it's something grounded in 3D. And it's met with passion from the divine feminine. The divine feminine is receptive towards this, and in a very passionate way. This to me comes across as almost a very excited energy. Hi, I can't believe you're finally here, kind of thing. Nice to see you again, kind of feeling, right? And it's because this conversation has been manifested. This could be this could all be what's being manifested again. I should point this out. By the divine feminine, if not just the divine masculine. So it really could kind of go either way as to who's been manifesting what, but overall, some sort of manifestation has occurred. The Magician is a very powerful card, and this is what's going to breed in this conversation, with help of the Tower here. Obviously, some sort of event has had to occur in order for all this to happen here. So with the Strength card, and the Two of Swords, this is going to be talking about them taking the strength to cut away something from their life. We have the ending energy here of the Death card. So it looks like the choice here that needs to be made. Obviously, the Death card, it talks about endings, permanent endings. It is final. This can be a transitionary state, but I'm really picking up on more the finality of the Death card here. With this death card here, the choice that needs to be made is about balancing out your time, energy, and effort. You haven't been splitting it evenly between whichever situations that you're facing in your life right now, Divine Masculine. And with that being said, one of the choices is going to come in the form of heartbreak. So to me, it's the ending of this karmic partnership here. Obviously, you have the Divine Feminine on your mind, and you're wanting to proceed in this direction. You've come to this place, and it's about taking the strength and control to balance out your time, energy, effort, even monetary means that you've been spending in directions between have not been even between the two people. It's hard to feel that you couldn't have the same connection if you're not even spending the same amount of time, energy, effort, money. If you're going on trips, lavish dates, things like that, and you've been spending a bunch of money on, this person over here, and you're like, well, I had these good times. I bet you'd have just as good a time, if not better, over here. And this is the realization of that, really. So this is what allows the Knight of Cups to move forward here. Again, we have the Knight of Cups moving forward. This is that emotional messenger, in really taking and moving forward with this action. So not only is there a breakup coming, Divine Masculine, that needs to happen, or some sort of heartbreak that needs to occur, whether or not you have a titled relationship, divorce, whatever that means. For each individual situation, it's obviously going to be very different, just depending. But something in a current emotional situation that you have ongoing needs to basically come to an end here. It needs to be cut away so that you can proceed forward here with this emotional message of love, compassion, genuine nature here. So with the Death card, obviously there's something that needs to not only come to a heartbreak, but a permanent end as well. This needs to be a door that doesn't get open back up. Quit seeing if it's ever going to change. Yeah, I think you've gone through enough karmic lessons here to really understand that it's never going to change. What you see is what you get with this person, obviously. So, under the Divine Feminine's headspace here, we have the overall ending energy of the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is still standing your ground here. Let's see what all these cards are. So with the Seven of Wands in relation to kind of what we have going on here, this is the Divine Feminine still having to stand their ground, and this might be them having to actually stand their ground to more people than just the Divine Masculine. This could be them having to stand their ground to friends, family members, anyone that's really trying to interfere in their twin flame journey or wouldn't necessarily approve of whatever is going on. This can definitely be way outside the relationship between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, in that connection. So with the defensiveness here, again, towards this karmic partner, in this situation, I'm showing that there is going to be more defensiveness between the Divine Masculine and the karmic partner here, and that's being represented. But we have the World card showing up here. And this is really, in combination, Divine Feminine, this is really about you when this message proceeds forward and comes forward to you about the ending of this relationship over here. You need to let it go. You need to let it go. You need to be accepting of everything that's occurred and proceed forward for your own happiness. You need to let the past be in the past and realize that this is something that's been closed out. You can't hold your Divine Masculine in the past, because that's what's not going to allow the change to occur. So you need to be accepting and willing for this chapter to be closed out, because as you are willing and accepting for this chapter to close out, that's really what's going to put this situation in the rear view mirror and allow you to proceed forward. We have the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords can be something that comes in rather hastily, quickly. It can be abrupt and sudden. It can be a bit chaotic and sometimes unplanned even. Um, this to me is like, almost needing to be kind of careful in this situation with how you choose to react to the information that comes forward. Um, this is almost a warning sign to keep control of your emotions and think before you speak. Don't just go off about how disappointed, mad, angry, whatever you've been experiencing in the past. There'll be a time and a place for that. But with as new as everything that is occurring over here is happening, you need to let some time really heal so you're not holding this person in the past. This is to me a very much a warning card for the divine feminines out there to, despite anything that they might see, not jump to the conclusions and immediately go right for the sword over here with the Queen of Swords. One of the choices in the paths here that they're obviously have been holding on to is going to be the representation of the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. So this really speaks of this coming together of these two people here, this divine masculine who's been very much in a state of trying to grow his finances and everything like that, and some of the choices that he's made in the attempt to really grow financially. Yet there's still this passion and desire from the divine feminine really being represented here, them still being able to hold on to this connection and choosing this path time and time again. She is the torch carrier at this moment in time. She's really been holding on to the torch and carrying this to the state of union while we're waiting for the divine masculine to kind of go through these final steps of ascension here. And when I say the final steps of ascension for the divine masculine, divine feminine, please realize that we're still going through levels of ascension too. It never really stops. We're just going to constantly be growing spiritually throughout the rest of our time on this planet. It's what's going to continue to provide us with blessings and powers in order to teach the lessons of love to people here who are incarnated without their twins, or that may not have twins. However that works, not all. I'm not all knowing in the situation as far as how the twin flame dynamic works, whether or not every single person has a twin or not. I haven't been privy to that information, so if I do, I'll let you know. I promise. The Knight of Wands, though, this is still kind of being in that defensive state, and really, almost being protective of what we have or what we've been able to achieve here. And I think it's because of whatever message that comes through. So this is almost maybe being a bit defensive and standing your ground in situations to people I'm feeling like really outside of this connection, because something occurs here with this Tower for the divine masculine where they really see things in a new light. And to me, with the Sun illumination over here, this is really talking about coming into this understanding of the entire role and really kind of taking a step back out of the ego mind, out of that, and protecting what we've been working on, protecting all the achievements and advancements that we've made, not only in our own life but in our partnership as well, as this occurs here. So underneath the Queen of Swords, with the Sun here, let's see what we have for the likely outcome, likely actions. I'm just going to kind of scoot this stuff over so I can have a little space here. Okay, so through the illumination here that we gain from the Sun here, and understanding really this role of this Queen of Swords, and understanding that is something in our arsenal that we may have not had in the past. We're realizing to kind of set our swords down and take a step back and really realize that this is a journey about love and unconditional love. So as we do need to stand up for ourselves from time to time and really make sure that we're living for ourselves and our best interest, this is us, also realizing that part of our best interest is, getting out, or getting into our twin flame union and connection. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing. So we need to step back into that state of unconditional love for our divine masculine. Really be sending those messages of love and light, positive energy their way. As hard as sometimes it is, and as easy as it is for us to hold on to our ego and say, well, this person's wronged me in this, and this way, so on, so on. It's part of the journey. It's been part of the journey. It's so that we can grow. Their actions spark our growth. And where we haven't been strong in the past, now we have that strength because of everything that's been occurring. So we have the moon following up this new start here, this new adventure, this leap of faith, taking into this idea. With the moon and the sun here, this is really, again, back to this duality. And I feel like this is really almost saying that there was some sort of leap of faith that occurred for a lot of divine feminines back towards the moon. Them really acting in manners that, either by reaching out or having conversations, and probably in this Queen of Swords energy again, and continuing to show that they're going to stand up for themselves. I feel like this is more of a time frame, kind of like a place marker saying, hey, this is what's really bred in this new beginning. Even though it might have looked pretty dark at the time, or it didn't work out the way you thought it would, this is what's really sparked this new beginning here. And we have the Ten of Cups for the final energy card here, which is obviously the emotional abundance, the happy fulfillment of represented by a married couple with two kids dancing, looking at the rainbow, seeing God's promise really kind of come in, that magical connection between the two of them, that love that they've been so seeking really kind of showing back up into their life is kind of what I'm gaining here by stepping out of this Queen of Swords energy for whenever this message comes through. Ending energy here is the Five of Swords. So this is like through crisis, through battle, through conflict, gaining the new perspective. No one really wins in a war, but sometimes you see things in a different light because of it. And it's understanding that, especially in the state of illumination. So even through your dark times and your dark nights, you still have this sun showing back up here again, and realizing that the real beauty is that, sunrise and sunset occur twice a day, and you only have to be patient in order to really see that happen. If you want to wait up and see some really pretty sunsets, and then it goes down and it's gone. And if you're just patient, the sun will come back out again, and you'll see the beauty again of it all happening. So, overall likely outcome or combined energies between the two of them here with this message and the Ten of Wands. Ending energy, the Devil. So the Devil is all about being chained, things of codependency, addictions, substances, abusive substances. I don't want to make anyone feel guilty for having a couple of drinks from time to time, or however that looks in your own life. You moderate your own life. I'm not here to govern you by any means. So, but it's when you get into that state of excess that obviously is the addiction or the chain here. This can be people that don't serve your best interest. Whatever that looks like between you and your divine masculine. Obviously, there is some sort of representation of the devil energy here. But I don't feel like it's necessarily even the same devil energy between the two of them. We do have this representation underneath this messenger here of the Seven of Swords. It's pointing towards the divine masculine on this side here, and to me, this is really you know, the sneaking around, deceptiveness, hidden things, secrets, lies, cheating. That's very much the energy of the Seven of Swords, theft, things like that. That kind of a nature here, and maybe really needing to be able to relay this wherever it needs to be relayed. If this is needs to be relayed to the karmic, relay it to the karmic. If this needs to be relayed to the divine feminine, relay it to the divine feminine. If it needs to be relayed to both, relay it to both. Explain what's happened. You're going to be met on this side here with obvious love, because they have the illumination occur, and they want this happy, abundant emotions, and you want basically the same thing. You have this duality over here again. You know, the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups both being represented as something that's been being desired. You know, home life abundance, emotional abundance, very close energies. We have the representation of the Nine of Swords. This is looking towards the divine feminine. This is really staying in your head, divine feminine, and having those sleepless nights, those anxieties, the letting your mind really wander, you know, in situations that you know you shouldn't let your mind wander into. You know, you need to be in control of your own thoughts and everything like that, because that's what's breeding a lot of this anxiety. To me, your devil energy really here is you in a sense of you being in your own head far too much about worrying about things that are going on, and you know, it's costing you. You could be making up your own situations in your head that then become self-fulfilling prophecies due to, you know, constant thought. If you're manifesting things into your reality, there's no reason that, you know, as you're spending time in this anxiety and state of fear, that you know, it's going to breed in more manifestations of the same stuff. The ending here, though, is Temperance. Temperance talks about bringing the balance between everything. Temperance is the balance between the third and fifth dimension. One foot on land, one foot in the water. Really, the important part about temperance is learning how to use your intuition and impact it into the three-dimensional sense. You need to be using your intuition, not just be like, oh, well, I know this. Well, if you know it, do it, right? Because that's one of the things that's been holding us back, is sometimes we've been in a state of knowing, but we haven't been acting on it, or really following the intuition. We might know about the situation or think we know, but we're unsure of whether or not we send the message, and then we get 10 signs that we're supposed to send a message or whatever, and we're not doing it. Use your intuition, use your guides, use your signs, synchronicities. If you're unsure of what you should do, go to your knees, seriously, to your knees, say a prayer, ask for guidance. They are not going to stop you from getting your answers. Whatever you need, they'll help you. That's what temperance is here for. Your signs will come in, but come from a place of humbleness. You know, don't sit there, you know, laying in bed at night, you know, as a last minute thought with a 1 minute prayer and expect to see major results. You know, really find a time and a place, set aside that energy to be saying these prayers, you know, asking for guidance, and not, you know, as many times as a day as needed and as desired, and watch this really grow. Watch the blessings come and show gratitude. This is what's going to really bring in this entire situation here. Thanks guys for watching the video. I appreciate it if you made it this far. If you want to like, comment, share, subscribe, my information's all in the description below. Again, a huge shout out to the guys at InstantGo, or InstantGo. I don't know why I keep calling that. Especially Augie. Augie, you've been great, man. I don't know if you watch my videos at all or ever, but if you do and you made it this far, what up, guy? If you guys can find Augie on Facebook or wherever, go blow his page up. Give that guy loads of hearts, hugs, whatever you want to send to him. Let him know I sent you too. Okay, he's a rad dude, and he's really helped me out in a lot of different ways. So, much appreciation to everybody that's made it this far. And if you don't see a video out from me in the next couple of days, you know what's going on in my life. So, Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. I will try and get back ASAP. I know that you guys do enjoy these videos, so I don't want to leave you hanging for too long. Thank you. Have a good night.